Quarterfinal playoff action on the Blitz, and I hope you're excited. We have one hell of a matchup. Trans Valley League rivals Hilmar High and Escalon High clashing in the postseason for the 10th time in Sac Joaquin section history. This is a rematch from last season's Division 5 championship that saw Escalon beat Hilmar. But the Jackets did manage to eke out a victory earlier this season, 21-20, en route to an undefeated TVL campaign. Hilmar led by sophomore quarterback Caden Bailey, but it is a senior-heavy roster, and they've been eliminated in postseason by Escalon the last couple seasons. On the flip side, Escalon is in pursuit of their third consecutive blue banner. It's time to get ready for the Friday night highlights. Opening drive for the Cougars and facing 3rd and 21, junior quarterback Donovan Rosevink proves to be a Houdini in the pocket, multiple sacks avoided, and he finds Logan Anderson for 13 yards. Not enough for the first down, but it went back and forth like this for the first two possessions. The Cougars, they pay Hilmar back with a third down stop of their own, and when they get the ball back on offense, they let it rip. That's Riker Peters gone in a flash, 69 yards for the touchdown midway through the first quarter. And Escalon's offense somewhat took control early. This is Rosevink once again finding Anderson, 19 yards and a first down. And a couple plays later, the junior throws a bomb to Owen Nash, 31 yards, and that sets up the cap to a 5-play scoring drive. Rosevink finding Matthew Baptista with a pop pass from 10 yards out. How will Hilmar respond down by 2 scores? Well, they put the ball in the sophomore's hands and they let him do the rest. How many yards was that? That was 65 yards, Jack. And we gotta bring that back because this is the play of the game. Vision through the middle and strength as these defenders try to take him down. 1 fail, 2 fail, and here comes the third. He can't contain Caden Bailey. The pony step to get free, and he hits the end zone to make it a 1-score game at halftime. And even though that's the play of the game, don't worry, there's plenty more highlights to come in the second half. Now, before we get into the second half, let's recognize our sponsor, Realtor Michael Rocha. Are you a buyer looking for your perfect home? Or are you a seller looking for top dollar for your home? No matter what your goals are, if you're looking to win in this real estate market, Michael Rocha is the realtor for you. So contact Michael Rocha today at 209-485-5228. You can also find him on Facebook and on Instagram. Third quarter action, and Escalon is turning to Riker Peters, and with good reason. A 9-yard run for a first down is called back, but Peters gets that first down on the very next play with a 7-yard rush, and this 7-play drive ends with a Peters touchdown from 21 yards out. He ran every single play in this sequence. He covered 60 yards himself, folks. Escalon's feeling pretty good about the way things are going, and they're going to feel even better right now. A pitch from the quarterback to Jax Branco hits the turf, and Javier Gutierrez recovers. Big time play for the Cougars, but luckily for the Jackets, there are no touchdowns that come off of that turnover. Instead, we get a drive interrupted by Derek Taylor, who swats that pass from Rosevink, leads to a punt, and that leads to a big time play on offense, a 49-yard reception. And that will set up a 1-yard plunge from the quarterback to bring the score within 1 touchdown. This is what we expected from this TVL showdown. Big play after big play, and after that big momentum swing for Hilmar, Logan Anderson quells the crowd just a little bit with this great return. He takes the ball all the way down the midfield, and that leads to an easy scoring drive for the Cougars. This is Peters, and that's a 47-yard touchdown run. He's making it look easy. It's a 14-point game now, and Hilmar is looking to respond once again. Vargas with a 2-yard reception, but we are going to get a penalty at the end of this play that tacks on 15 more, and this 5-play drive is capped by Luis Vargas with a 3-yard touchdown run, and so it's getting tight as we enter the fourth quarter. And this is where defense has to step up, and Hilmar's defense seemingly does that. There's a 0 net gain for Peters, but Escalon was able to notch these home run plays, and it made all the difference. Rosavink connects with Anderson. That's a 56-yard touchdown pass as Anderson streaks down the sideline, and this would prove to be the turning point in the game, in my opinion. Hilmar trying some trickery. Backup quarterback Bradley Morris looking for the deep ball, but instead he's intercepted by Matthew Baptista. And Escalon takes advantage of this turnover. Here's a 2-yard plunge on 4th and 1 by Peters, which sets up another touchdown throw by Rosavink. Owen Nash reels it in over the top of a defender, 54 yards into the end zone. 42-21 is starting to slip away from Hilmar. They're not done though. They're going to keep playing. 18-yard pass from Bailey to Taylor, and that sets up the last score of the game, a 10-yard run by Vargas. It's too little, too late. Escalon once again eliminates their rival from the playoffs.
We just beat Hilmar in a big upset. This feels absolutely amazing. I am so proud of my team in every facet of the game. They were absolutely focused. Everybody was dialed in, and this is just a great win for Escalon. When the brackets came out and we saw Hilmar was on that list, we wanted to do everything possible to get to it. Now we're here, and we won. We thought we were just going to spread this across the board, but when something works, you just keep going at it until it doesn't. Our O-line, Hunter Budd, Tay Christensen, Gio Chavez, Ben Laura, we got Jacob Roush, we got Jones, and our receiver, which is called Owen, did absolutely amazing. Jamin Miller with great blocking, Baptista with great interceptions on defense to help us clutch out the win, and Logan Anderson for big plays. And just to be out here, be a senior, lead your team, and just play a game like this on one of the biggest stages for high school football, especially in our league, it's so surreal. We have to stay focused. We have to stay on the path. We have to keep going and take it a week at a time. If we focus too much on the biggest goal, we're not gonna win.
Escalon High with the upset of their TVL rival, and a lot of that had to do with the performance of Donovan Rosavink. The quarterback went 8 for 16 for 199 yards and 3 touchdowns. As for Riker Peters, he had 24 carries for 219 yards and 3 touchdowns as well. And Logan Anderson, 5 receptions for 105 yards and 1 touchdown. And while we're at it, let's shout it out to Owen Nash, 2 receptions for 84 yards and 1 touchdown. And while they came up short, the Jackets put in a valiant effort, led by their sophomore quarterback, Caden Bailey, 10 for 16 for 122 yards, in addition to 7 carries for 127 yards for a total of 249 yards and 2 touchdowns. As for the senior receiver, Derek Taylor, he had 4 receptions for 101 yards. And now Escalon is on to face the first seed in the D5 bracket, Sutter High. They are undefeated, 11-0 out of the Pioneer Valley League, and they've been Northern Section Division III champs since 2014. So let's see what happens when Escalon travels to face Sutter. Sutter is fresh off a 14-0 win over TVL foe Ripon High. And though this is the end of the season for Hilmar, there's a lot to look forward to next season. Even though the Jackets have a senior-heavy roster with a lot of key players graduating this year, the quarterback is a sophomore. Caden Bailey played well, and so that is a great piece to build around in the years to come. And since we're talking about upsets and quarterbacks, I think we should talk about next week's Blitz episode. We are covering Turlock High on the road to face Oak Ridge, and the Bulldogs are coming fresh off the biggest win of program history. It's arguable, but I would say it's up there, if not number 1, number 2. They upset undefeated and second-seeded St. Mary's High 51-50 with the help of their senior quarterback, Cole Gilbert. This is definitely a week where I wish we had multiple Blitz crews because I really would have liked to watch that game. Regardless, we're going to be at Oak Ridge High to see if Lightning can strike twice. And with the level of talent the Bulldogs boast on their roster, I think it can. So be sure to check out this matchup at turlockjournal.com. You can also find us on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Turlock Journal. So until next week, when we bring you playoff action, I'm Frankie Tovar. Thank you for watching the Blitz.